Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I'm making some jerky today, but I'm doing it out on my fire pit, kind of primitive style. This is some venison that I had left over from last year's hunting season in the freezer. There's only 3 pounds here. This is the last of my whole meat. And I mixed this up last night with some jerky seasoning. And jerky seasoning is something that's simple enough to just make, but you can also buy commercial and store it. And I actually have some commercial here because it has so much salt in it, it's going to keep for a really long time for you. The brand that I'm using right here is called High Country today, and this is kind of what it looks like. I just keep it in a plastic container here with a lid on it. You don't need very much of it. You only need a few tablespoons for a batch like this, and then you put in what's called meat cure. And this pink salt right here is meat cure. It's got a couple different names, but we just call it pink salt around here. Now this doesn't look like much to store for your preps, but you only need 1/8 of a teaspoon of this per pound of meat. So this is actually quite a bit, even though it doesn't seem like it. And we're going to actually take this stuff out here, and we're going to hang this in the fire pit inside the tripod. And when I get out there, I'm going to kind of show you how I rig that up so I can smoke this primitively. Kind of see here what I did. I wired up some pieces of re-rod onto my tripod, and that's going to give me the support to put my sticks on that's going to hold my jerky. And here's the jerky all put on the bamboo skewers, and it's set for the fire pit now. Now we're going to go get our fire going and get these guys put up. And this is what the jerky looks like hung up. We're going to get some wet wood on here now. I've been soaking some blocks of wood overnight. They're going to go on the fire there to put some smoke out. And then I'm going to kind of show you the unconventional part of this, how we're going to cover this guy up. And this is the unconventional part of this smoking technique. After you got your fire going, your jerky hung, and you got some wet wood on the fire, you cover this tripod up with a wet piece of cotton cloth. This here's a cotton painter's cloth that I just soaked in water. Got it good and damp. You can see there I got quite a bit of smoke coming out. And take a peek in there. You can see the jerky hanging in there. And we'll just cover this back up. We want to keep as much of that smoke in as possible. And then you leave a little bit of a gap on the bottom so air can get in and you can add more wet wood. And then you basically kick back with a cup of coffee and you watch this guy. You don't want to walk away from this. Those pieces of jerky are fairly small, so they're not going to take very long to smoke, maybe 2 hours. And we'll just keep adding wet wood as we need it. Just use a regular hardwood, either apple or cherry or oak. Any fruit or hardwood will work on this. I actually got ash in there right now. It'll give it a good clear smoke for this. But anyway, when I get a little further along here, I'm going to kind of show you what the jerky looks like. And this is when you can tell that you need to check it. You can see the smoke's kind of dying down. That means we got a flame starting to come up in there. We need to put more wet wood and a little water on it to keep the smoke going. We're going to give it a little check now, see what it looks like. You can see you got a little bit of flame in there, and you got a lot of smoke. That flame's getting a little bit too high now, so we're just going to throw a couple more wet pieces of wood on there and a little bit of water to keep the smoke going. We want more smoke than we want flame. Here you guys can see that the jerky's starting to get done. It's got the right color on it. It's dried off really nice. We want to cook this to an internal temperature of about 165 degrees. It's been going about an hour and a half. We're going to let this go about another half an hour or so yet. Then we're going to take a piece off and we're going to check it. But this is kind of what it looks like at this point. It's looking really good to me. I want to try some, but I got to wait just a little bit yet. Well, our wood's used up, our fire's just about out. I checked a piece of this. It's done the way I want it to be, so I'm going to take these guys off now and take them in the house, kind of show you what they look like, and give you guys a little bit of a wrap-up. Hey everybody, there's just one quick thing that I want to reiterate if you're going to use this smoking technique. Make sure that your jerky hits 165 degrees internal temperature to make sure that it's good and done. And if you're using this cloth hood tripod smoking technique, it's something that you can't walk away from. You got to stay right by it to constantly monitor the fire and tend to it. If the flames come up, you want to put a little water, a little wet wood on it to keep the smoke going and keep the flames down so you don't catch your hood on fire. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to mention this to you as a reminder. As you can see here, we're back in on the kitchen counter. You can tell that 3 pounds of jerky reduces by quite a bit. You're going to lose a little over half when you're making jerky because it dries out quite a bit. You can use this technique for cased sausage, for jerky of course. You could also use this for fish. Just a real simple way. If you got a tripod and a fire pit and a good piece of cotton cloth, you can smoke small items. You don't even have to have a metal tripod like I have. You could use definitely a makeshift stick or bushcraft tripod as well. Just kind of wanted to share this simple smoking technique with you guys. I hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment out of this video. I appreciate all my subscribers out there very much. And this is Modern Refugee. You guys have a great day.